afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast from your host and Paul.A.D, Master Propaganda Hero Site Defender of the Fatherland of ETL 1 vs 1 on Crossing in the Woods in the South. It's MajorKusanagi fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 20th Tank Corps versus the North. We got Paul.A.D fighting for the Oberkommando West of Germany, Deutschland, das Vaterland. We're rolling out with the 1st Panzer Division. We got Scavenge, Special Operations, and Overwatch with medical support, or medical supplies, and a tank gun bulletins versus MajorKusanagi's Guard Motor, Urban Defense, and Shock Rifle with Triple Infantry for Kusanagi. Straight into a double conscript build, and Kugelwagens out here for Paul.A.D. A very interesting move versus the Soviets, since Special Rifle Command with Scout Cars very much tend to be high meta here, and in that regard, the Kugelwagen tends to get hard counted, so it's a bit of a surprising move here, and a rather bold move by Paul.A.D. Of course, there's been a slow increase in players actually going for heavy conscript builds, but even then, to versus a player as the Oberkommanders go for the Kugelwagen is a very bold move. Points in the south, things is trying to push for fuels there, leaving the Fulton's bases sort of and Kugelwagen to secure the other territories there. We got more Fulton guns on the way there for Paul.A.D. We got lots of conscript there for MajorKusanagi. Again, also deviating from, say, the usual build orders from the Surts versus the Oberkommando West. And they go Kugelwagen versus the conscript. Shots being fired here. A few shots plinking off the armour, though a few do get through. And in the west here, Engineers versus Sturmpaniers. That's going to be an engagement there that MajorKusanagi does not really have any chance of winning at most. He can basically draw it out. Hope to keep the Sturmpaniers a bit more preoccupied. Maybe get a single kill. But beyond that, I mean, this is really an engagement. The Engineers do not have a snowball selling chance of winning because of the assault rifle base. The Sturmpaniers just outperform them by leagues. So there you go, Engineers routed. Didn't even really buy a lot of time with it. I guess at least didn't lose a model with it, so I suppose there's that. But overall, pretty straightforward engagement there for Paul.A.D, who's actually gone straight to Scavenge, meaning we could see Ostwinds. Obviously, we're likely going to see Jaegers and some other bits. We'll obviously see what goes out there. Kusanagi yet to go for Doctor, and Years retreating back. Looks like he could plan here to go for some support and company air. Bring up Maxims, mortars, and field guns, so he might be planning more conscripts, and that is exactly what Kusanagi does here as Paul.A.D's forces are moving in against the conscripts in the east and northeast. You can see he's likely trying to play around there, pressuring Paul there around his rear lines. We've got a truck out here. Mechanized battle group headquarters. We'll have to see what it ends up with there for Paul.A.D and the 1st Panzer Division. Fulton moving up and engaging the conscripts. Quick Molotov as well versus the Fulton to deny them cover. Nice little move there. 4th conscript squad arriving out here for Kusanagi. Engineers caught out in the open. They need to retreat immediately, otherwise they're going to die very fast, and that's going to not help Kusanagi one bit. Continue more aggression here in the rear lines. He's trying to stall Paul's main push, which is going straight for the calf points. Straight for the jugular. Another Molotov here to deny him cover. Force him out into negative cover and into the open. Nice play there to an extent. But meanwhile, again, we just got that further continued harassment on the rear lines, trying to also just draw Paul away from the front line this way. Interesting moves there by Paul. Oh, not Paul, but Kusanagi. Troops are reinforcing. Paul there certainly finding himself being a bit more routed now. And we got the truck, the commander fire. He's still yet to upgrade it. I mean, he's not likely to lose it, but it's going to probably be a bit annoying there for Paul, nonetheless, for it to come under fire. Oh, a nice move there by Kusanagi. Rather high risk to an extent. I mean, if he risked getting locked down, it'll be bad, but at the same time, nice the one cutting off most of Paul's resources. I mean, definitely ends up working out there. We'll have to see what it ends up going with. I mean, at this stage, mechanized regular looks very likely here for Paul. Plasmine medical supplies means more likely to rely on the Sturmpaniers, which would indicate he's not exactly planning on using the battle group headquarters a lot. At least not until the late game. So I feel like mechanized regular is more likely for Paul. So we also intend to set it up there, since most players want to place the battle group headquarters right next to the main headquarters. Jaeger's out there for Paul. Running up here to hit the fuel pump there. Nice play. And yep, it is mechanized regular there for Paul.A.D. Not a huge surprise in the end. The signs were there. Certainly a bit of a motorized strategy he's got going here with the Kugelwagen now, possibly Luxus. I mean, Pumas could happen, but I don't think they're going to be very likely to happen unless MajorKusanagi push out a T-70 faster than Paul can push out the Lux. Not impossible, but I'm not necessarily seeing it. We'll have to see how it ends up, though. Fulton's conscripts here. Molotov could be popped here to deal with the full Skirmishes. We got another Jaeger squad out here to flank the conscripts in the east. So that's 2 Jaeger squads out here for Paul.A.D in the 1st Panzer Division. West here we got Molotovs up to 9 cabins, so they can't just easily rush straight at them. Getting to cover there. Conscript flying, coming fire, but it looks like here that Kusanagi's conscripts will be overwhelmed by the might of Paul.A.D and the 1st Panzer Division. Fuel point there secured. Bit of skirmishing here, and units flying up with the conscripts. Still, the Jaegers are looking in a pretty solid position. On the Jaegers being upgraded with the marksman rifle. Kusanagi has got the support company up, but is displaying no signs of anything from it. And still no doctrine there for Kusanagi either. Still no doctrine. Troops they're retreating. Swift retreat there by Paul. Certainly looking at the condition, low on health, there's certainly an argument to make just to pull them back to get them healed and reinforced, before pushing them out and just losing manpower needlessly and feeding his opponent more experience needlessly. Back here, healing enforcement field on the way there. He's seen the mechanized regiment, so obviously in this regard, Kusanagi immediately takes the direct precaution of getting out a field gun in before he considers taking out, maybe going out for a light tank, and even then fuel wise he's not quite there. Paul has now been very successful to turn the table then Kusanagi and harass his fuel. And we got the doctrinal choice for Kusanagi. It is shock rifle, a shocking choice. We'll have to see where that ends up, but that could be very interesting here. Shock troopers could prove to be quite nasty here versus Paul, used correctly. And the KB can be useful, but I imagine it's definitely going to be centered around the eyes too. The question is it going to stall into it, which I hope not. Or does somebody build up an armored force and then trying to set up for the eyes too? We'll have to see. But there you go, popping a Molotov here. More or less expecting him to be there. I mean, it's a very obvious hiding spot to be in, so yeah. Jaeger's routed. Still, Kusanagi needs to get fuel under his control soon, otherwise he's going to be in a very uncomfortable position very fast. Conscript unit setting out. Fulton there on watch. Conscript standing about here. And got push happening there. Jaeger's opening up. We've got the G33 up there, the marksman rifle. Conscript to try the other house. Nope, does not use the house directly. Molotovs off here. Conscript taking heavy damage here from the German infantry. Paul is certainly doing his best to inflict as much pain and punishment here with Kusanagi in the 20th Tank Corps. Jaeger's being slowly pushed back. That's Steel pass behind heavy cover there. Double Jaeger squads here. The only one upgraded here versus the conscripts. The upgraded one gets retreated. And there we go. Lux is on the way there for Paul.A.D and the 1st Panzer Division. Flamethrowers up there for Kusanagi's engineers. And back here, troops here reinforcement there for Kusanagi. But still, he needs that fuel, and he's probably going to need, long term some light tanks or assault guns to counter the Lux a bit more consistently. You could consider some mines around here to maybe try and catch the Lux. Either way, that is halfway done there for Paul.A.D. More scope rifles up there, or marksman rifles. Going for the car point there. Good move. But still no overweight movement there towards any of the fuel points. Securing the center, securing munitions in the west and in the east. Almost got the road point here, and there you go. Paul's about to send out a massive force here. Jaegers and Volkskanalers, and they're going to be backed up by the Lux. Light Aufklärungspanzer, another medical cluster dropped off. There we go. Got that light tank out. And Kusanagi's only got one field gun to stop this. And right now the field gun... Oh, note, he's actually using ambush. And gun enter tactics, that's nice. We got shock troops one way for Kusanagi, an interesting choice here considering the timing of things. We'll have to see how that works out, but there you go. Looks quickly bypassed the field gun, which he couldn't just let up to stand up there because then he'd been swarmed by the infantry, highlighting a bit there that Kusanagi did manage to place the field gun in a very exposed position, and now he's very likely to lose it versus Paul.A.D, and that's going to be quite frankly awful for Kusanagi, and a big win there for Paul. We're going to get it to work. There you go. The shocks win there. Grenade off as well. Right into the midst of all the infantry. There we go. Nice grenade there. And we go into tank grenades up. Down to the engine here. Engineer's got to get wiped out. But the looks those shock troopers tearing through most of Paul.A.D's infantry. Conscripts backing up here. Heavy damage being inflicted. Engineer scored down. That's going to delay any tech there for Kusanagi after this. Otherwise, massive engagement. As all this is happening, he's still sitting territory on the other points. Very nice. Shock troops need to fall. Oh, he's going to merge with him using the conscripts. Nice work there. Oh, didn't get to do it in time. Just retreat. Steon Pan is hitting a mine. Oh, trying to grab the field gun here. There goes. Sacrifices the conscript to get it done. Heavy damage. Heavy casualty for Kusanagi. That's a conscript squad and an engineer squad gone. For time and place. I mean, if you can get rid of the Lux, it's going to somewhat pay it off. But of course, Paul, like any good aggressive player, commits another one, sensing a chance here to finish this off soon. And thinking, you know, if it works out, obviously it's just going to win. It wouldn't matter, you know, went for another light tank. Plus, I mean, Kusunagi's not taking up anytime soon, so yeah. There we go. Looks finding down. The damage it inflicted on Kusanagi was quite a bit there. And while Kusanagi was able to hurt Paul back somewhat, I don't think he quite so loads up. Still, doing all of this, though, Kusanagi managed to, I think, maintain a very steady and cool nerve, though, in the face of Paul's bold aggression. Bold face? I don't know. Either way, he was very aggressive about it, obviously. I mean, Kusanagi managed to maintain his cool there, basically stalling a bit there while still managing to grab territory on the east and secure the fuel points for himself. So, nice play there by Kusanagi. Cold, ice cold nerves of steels there. That's absolutely amazing work there by Kusanagi. Some players would have absolutely panicked there, but not Major Kusanagi. And of course, Paul there is back in the horse again, back in the saddle with the looks. Back on the horse. Charging out, there was a second light tank. We'll have to see if Kusanagi is expecting that or how he will react. But he probably is considered taking up soon here. Going for more engineers, and obviously he has to get more engineers if he wants to attack. Shock troops moving in. They might want to consider popping a smoke grenade to ensure the country do not get wiped. Field gun moving up here. At least decrease the chance. There we go. Nice one there. Might not be enough. At least he made the attempt. Field gun sitting up. They need to get troops up to cover up. And oh, another unit down for Major Kusanagi and the 10th or 20th tank call there. A staggering blow here to the dead army. Another vicious strike here from Paul. Proving himself to be a absolutely vicious bastard. Grenade assault here trying to deal with the shock troop. Doesn't quite work out and he gets a wipe there. Doesn't quite make up for everything, but it's going to help them slowing down Paul.A.D. So a small win there for him. Molotov on the Jaegers inside the house. Going to flush them out with fire. Sometimes going to take out, but he's not far off making a push out some armor here versus Paul.A.D. And the double looks does mean Paul will not be able to immediately punish me for a late light tank taking there. Got more grenade assaults trying to push him out into the open. You know, blast him with looks and gets another wipe. Major Kusanagi is struggling heavily. I mean, he's basically lost at sea, and Paul is throwing him an anchor. Keep him afloat. Looks there, though, 8 kills, veterans who won. Kusanagi's going to really have to do some heavy light vehicle work, I think, to get out of this one. Otherwise, he is dead. But right now, his situation is desperate. He's got 1 shock trooper squad, 1 conscript, 1 engineer, 1 field gun. Versus the looks, the Kulwagen, all the infantry Paul still has. I mean, that is just brutal stuff. But Kusanagi is a fighter. He does not give up in the face of opposition. He does hope he is in the Soviet army, in which case he could get shot if he did. Still, the shock troopers are probably going to prove to be a crucial point here for him. They are quite tough for the rest of Paul's infantry to deal with, and they can deal a lot of damage. Of course, they are very much countered by the look. Still, Kusanagi is not far off from a T-7 light tank, which I imagine he's going to go for first. But what happens after that, of course, will be interesting to see. Victory points wise, it's pretty close for now, but I imagine that Paul's going to be able to gain a big leap over Major Kusanagi here. Flamethrowers out. T-70 is not, there we go, available. I mean, it could go for the option 6 to specifically hard counter the looks, but I'm suspecting it's going to be the T-70. No! No! Major Kusanagi does not bother with such pedestrian thoughts and strategies. He's pushing straight ahead there. He realizes he needs to make a big leap himself, possibly to overthrow Paul. Not focusing on just can't counter, he's going to really just throw Paul off his rocker. He's going straight for the mechanized armor companier. That is a definitely bold retreating move, but it could very well be the exact boldness that Major Kusanagi needs to turn this around. I mean, in which case he's probably going to go for the T-34-76, which of course is A, going to put pressure on the looks, it's going to put pressure on the infantry, and it also means any armor that Paul.A.D. might still be able to get out is not going to have an exactly fun, happy time right away. It's not going to be able to destroy whatever Kusanagi's got on the field too easily, so getting very interesting here. I mean, the KV-8 theoretical option, but that would take, I think, too long time. The T-34-76, I think, is going to have the fastest impact, and of course, just be an absolute pain in the ass for Paul to deal with. And again, capable of doing a lot of damage. Field gun, by the way, they're still ambushed, ready to surprise anything Paul might have. And really, you do not see a lot of players actually using this, but Major Kusanagi is. It's actually impressive. I mean, I'm impressed by that. Mine hit there. Shock coming up there, taking a few losses there, but still they're going to be able to deal out a lot more damage than the Jaegers can there. Katyusha ready, but that's obviously not what he's going to go for, and it would be very silly for him to go for it. I mean, again, it's very likely going to be the T-34 on the 6. That would be my major bet here. Shroud Panzer quarters up there for Paul.A.D. Interesting position in there. It covers some ground, but it's not, I would say, super vital, but it's, you know, still an annoying position for it to be in. And these points, they're being secured, and there you go. MajorKusanagi going for the T-34 on the 6. That's going to be a rather serious spanner in Paul.A.D. and the 1st Panzer Division's works. Fortress Jump Pass moving up. Their field going to bring up the looks, getting a nice hit off there. T-34 from 6 slowly approaching the front line here for MajorKusanagi. Sandbags being dug in there. See, victory points being seized. Shock troopers falling back to get healed up, reinforced. Very good decision there. And we got a max as well to help deal with all of Paul's infantry. Also, I think a good idea. It does mean he's leaving the center victory point. I got it, but I think his chance for us holding it for that long with his shock troopers were minimal anyways. But there you go. T-34 takes about to head here for MajorKusanagi for the Red Army. Lux takes it down. Engine there from the anti-tank grenades. Very good. Jaegers still moving in. And there we go. We got the T-35. Paul is at this stage obviously sensing something's armored going to hit his way. So he's going to bring up the kidnappers. But I don't think there's going to be enough here to single-handedly stop the T-34 unless MajorKusanagi makes some really awful moves with it. Halfway to veterancy still. Jaegers spotted by the T-34 from 6. Shot fire, missed. Still, that's going to probably put Paul a bit more on the defensive for now. Akadma moving in, looks back in the base. He's using cautious movement to hide it. He knows what's coming now. He knows what's coming. He's doing his best to try and avoid getting destroyed in his face. You really actually rarely see someone use this ability. And this, oh, it reveals. He forgot to tell it to hold fire. Alright, Heinz, we're hiding. Fire, Freund, nein, Heinz, nein! And he gets abandoned. It's abandoned within the base. Oh no! Kusanagi can't afford. I need to back straight into the Shroud Panzer headquarters. Oh no! He gets away. He gets away. Does he? Oh, he does. He gets away. Holy biscuits from hell. Machine gun chrome taken out by the T-34 and 6 looks being repaired. Ah, oh, dear, that was some absurd luck there for Paul.A.D. Meter repairs there on the looks. Kusanagi seizing territory, hitting a mine there though, costing them several maximum gunners. Not good. That T-34 of course is going to need immediate repairs. He's getting one gear to help with that. He's getting more conscript to help flesh out his ranks. Good. Seizing points in the south. Paul.A.D. consumed again going for tanks. MajorKusanagi of course will need more tanks to counter that. Fulton's Jaeger setting out. The Cadnavers, Kuvan's on watch. He moving eastwards there to clean up what Kusanagi undid. Troops enemy enforcing T-34 and 6 seeing repairs from doubling against minesweepers up as well there for Kusanagi. Very good. Seizing the western field, put them with the shock troopers. Very nice. Maximum good to go, conscripts good to go. T-34 and 6 halfway done, and we got a Molotov again. Points being seized. Looks Jaegers moving about. They're patrolling for any Bolsheviks. Constant versus the Jaegers. T-34 and 6 almost done there. Bit of quiet here. There you go. T-34 and 6 good to go again here. Paul.A.D. can go for the Panzer IV, but he's not. He might, in fact, just be thinking he's going to go for the Panther, figuring he might get hit with 2 T-34s, in which case, while the Panzer IV for the Oberquest, of course, can take on 2 T-34s better, a Panther might just be the stronger choice here, since 2 T-34s will not have an easy time versus a Panther. Plus, they sort of got the lead, but they allows me, I think, to do it more safely, so that's not a bad idea there by Paul.A.D. at all. I think that's a really good read on the situation. They could get away with it going for the Panther. The Panther is just a much better choice here, since again, Kusanagi could go for 2 T-34s. And that's the sort of thing you have to consider. Like, he may not do it, but he can go for it, in which case, what would you rather have, a Panzer IV or a Panther? And in most situations, you'd say a Panther. But obviously, of course, that is where Kusanagi goes. He's going to try for the tank destroyer. or the KV-8, but he's certainly trying to push back hard enough. Of course, Double Kinmev has rather put a lot of damage into his lone T-54 there. Field gun ring up, getting off a nice hit on the looks. Close of it to 2 actually. Oh dear, Kugelwagen might finally go down here. Counter suppressed, taking heavy damage. Field gun misses twice in a row, the little looks. Jaeger's on watch by the eastern victory point. Field gun misses again, keeps hitting something else. Back here, troops in reinforcing. T-54 from 6, almost good to go again. He can't go for the other T-54, but again, he might be thinking, you know, again, there's a possibility his opponent goes for some. Oh! He may not even be going for a Panther. He might be going straight for a King Tiger. Paul.A.D might be getting rather bullish here. Figuring he can just stall until he gets out of King Tiger. That's a bold move there by Paul.A.D. Bold, but you can understand why. You can understand why. At least Kusanagi, though, is not trying to stall for an IS-2 now. That would be very foolish. There you go, direct hits from like numbers again. He probably needs to find some other way to attack with his T-54 rather than straight into, you know, the center where Paul.A.D is very much expecting a tank to move. Far west shock trooper striking again, closing in ever so slowly on veteran 3. T-54s from 6, number 2 almost done. And with 2 T-54s, you might have a good chance of really doing some heavy damage to Paul, in particular if you catch the kidnappers off guard and destroy them. That could very much leave Paul exposed. Could pop a smoke grenade here to, you know, obfuscate the line of sight of the looks and allow the T-54s to close and destroy it. I mean, if you get rid of that looks, that'd be very helpful for Kusanagi. Field gun binding machine gun. Ooh, that was one hell of a hit there. Machine gun down. Good God. That's a nice win there for Kusanagi and the Red Army. And there you go, T-54 going here for the looks like tank. Direct hit here with the 76.2mm gun. And another hit. There we go. Like Kedman's opening up, but Scrap Hunt will jump. That connector assault lost the T-54. There you go, blocking the line of movement there of the T-54. And the looks gets away there. Kusanagi, I think, got a bit too confident there and got punished for it. Nice maneuvering there by Paul.A.D. And if he kept his T-54, I think, a bit more range there and just, you know, not done so greedy, he probably could, you know, at least save the T-54. Either way, though, he wouldn't actually have gotten the looks, but, you know, killing the T-55 would have been much more likely. Sandy Bass called in the T-54 to deal with all these Jaegers, a huge lob of them there, in fact. Plus a few Fulskers mixed in for a good measure. But he was able to grab the MD-34 at least, shocked for the need to retreat before they get annihilated. And there you go, Jaegers wiped out. Bit of a loss there for Paul.A.D and the first Panzer Division. Bit of a good use kill there for Kusanagi. Slightly makes up for the loss of the T-34s from 6. But he has managed to bounce back nicely after that huge loss there. Troops are healing and enforcing. Paul.A.D's got the same going on there, and it's very much looking like King Tiger time. But is Kusanagi's going to be a bit aware of that? He's going to be prepared. We got Orbis on there for Paul.A.D meanwhile, and another MG-34 or Maxim. I feel like that's a mistake. I mean, he's only got 2 machine guns. He really should be concerned more about armor. He's seen the Scrap Hunted quarters. He's seen no tanks from it. So at this stage, I mean, Kusanagi might want to be considering the possibility of a King Tiger. And sadly as it is, no number of machine guns is ever going to stop a King Tiger unless someone coded the game horribly wrong. Whoops. I was grabbing out for a glass of water to drink and ended up accidentally knocked the mouse a bit to the side there, my apologies. Finding in the centre there. T-54 moving in. Pushing to the west here, machine gun backing up, shock to the units moving in, the Steel Pioneers, could see a white there, then not fast enough. There you go, he was in fact very fast enough. Paul.A.D's taking no chances. Kuban Bao is still alive there, virtually 2, 8 kills, very nice. Moving about here, seizing territory for the army. Scrap Hunted quarters, proving to be quite a nuisance and actually served Paul.A.D quite well. Kusanagi, though, continues to be seemingly unawares about the potential of a King Tiger hitting him. Quick anti-tank grenade. Max was setting about. T-54 closing on T2, seizing the fuel point here. What would Kusanagi go for? More field guns? Tank destroyer? Will he try more T-34s? What is Kusanagi's plan here? Because I'm definitely not getting the impression his plans involve, again, that whole King Tiger business. Orbital done rounded. Gives me for the sensing how far they're from the Sturm Pioneers, the Jaegers, and the Volksgrenadiers. Heavy fire, the engineers swapped out, bit of loss there for Kusanagi and the 20th Tank Corps. Back here healing enforcement. Noting by the way he's actually using merge on the shock troopers to keep costs down. That's not a bad idea at all. Makes it much cheaper. And certainly there's more tanks around the field anyways. The body armor becomes less effective anyways. Oh, lost another team. He's going for a Katyusha now? Oh my god. Kusanagi's got no clue who's about to hit him then. I mean, you do not go for a Katyusha right before King Tiger hits. Unless you're absolutely, positively, utterly, certifiably insane. In the membrane. Once more we got a look at the cautious movement. Paul.A.D is absolutely about to hit him with the full force of the Wehrmacht. The German army. Die Deutsche Panzerwaffe. Schwerpanzer will try and take down the the field gun try and take down the Schwerpanzer. Called is not the other way around. Katyusha about to ready, and Kusanagi is about to get horribly surprised. Molotov's down there, we got artillery columns to disrupt Kusanagi's lines. King Tiger's about to hit, grenade being popped off here, troops wiped out, his shock troops at ace level, 16 kills, artillery hammering down here. A shattering barrage delivered by the Germans, howitzer battery nearby, and there we go, we got the King Tiger and Kusanagi's got a single field gun and a Katyusha to try and stop it. I don't even think MacGyver could pull that one off. King Tiger will hit their pinlock machine being added. Looks taking some heavy damage, but it's still operable. That looks has seen a lot of damage and punch. There you go, Katyusha barrage down. Fired from very far away, so there's a lot of scatter there. He does get some Sturm Pioneer kills, but the Schwerpanzer remains. And the King Tiger is just sitting straight down. Direct hit on the conscripts. Field gun up. Conscripts wiped. I imagine Kusanagi is regretting his choices right now a bit. I mean, the ace field gun is great. There's the King Tiger too. That consistently penetrates and shoots very fast. I mean, the King Tiger's actually in a bad spot here. I mean, obviously, Paul.A.D, if he keeps thinking about it, could lose the King Tiger. It's not impossible. And again, highlights just how good ace anti-tank guns are, which is why I'm surprised when most people don't keep, you know, the anti-tank guns alive better, because those absolutely mess up heavy tanks. So there you go. Single field gun was able to actually dispatch the King Tiger almost entirely on its own. And this is, of course, why you keep your tank supported by infantry. So you can actually clear anti-tank guns like that easily. But that could overall been handled better. I mean, he just stood in front of it. He didn't even try to flank the field gun with the King Tiger. And there you go, Kusanagi there, realising what he's done. He's going for the issue 5 tank, so since realising he can't just rely on a single field gun forever, because if he brings up enough orbitals to back up the King Tiger, the anti-tank crew is going to die a very swift, painless death. Well, relatively painless. I mean, they are pixels. I mean, pain doesn't really get involved anyways. Comes to the rest of the Jaegers and the Volksgrenadiers of the Obersoldaten. Looks like we're doing the maximum in the east. Bringing up the ace field gun there to line up some nicer than the looks. Issue 5 is almost down there for Kusanagi. Victory points wise, Paul's in the lead over Kusanagi. Katyusha almost ready to fire again. And there we go. H-5 tank destroyer ready for Major Kusanagi. Is one of his better bets at dealing with it, besides the ace field gun crew. Just less vulnerable to infantry. King Tiger's fixed up. Looks getting ready. Half H of vets on the feet. MD-34, the Vetcher 2 dealing with the Volksgun is there, pinning them down to the ground like insects in the insect collection. And there you go, Grenadiers all flushing out the maximum from the readout. Big push here with infantry, issued 5 backing it all up. Katyusha's ready to unleash hell upon anything suspicious. King Tiger looks setting up for deeper flank, very nice there by Paul.A.D. Ken was ready to deal with any sort of directly countering his movements. Engineers need to be very careful. King Katyusha could try and fire around the area, but of course we know so the Ken was there, but doesn't. Direct hits on the field, or the King Tiger. There you go, Katyusha on the fire here, or H5 on the fire from the Kednev, not the Katyusha, in which case Katyusha did something very horribly wrong. Katyusha's still not firing. Almost got both the Kednevs over the shock troops, the shock troops were something they got anyways. Not entirely sure what I killed them with, it looks like some sort of explosion, but what did this shooting me? I don't know. Katyusha firing again into the base, he's going to go for some wipes here, he's going to attempt it. Can he actually land the hits? Almost got the Orbison down there, but not quite. And there we go, a Kednev and Orbison crew got wiped. That's pretty huge there for Kusanagi. King Tiger being pushed back here. Sturmpani is halfway through. That looks like dealing with the machine gun inside the house here. Filger needs to fall back alongside the tank destroyer. Quite a blow there to Paul.A.D. He actually lost several units there. But he did fail, I think, to destroy the Kednev to prevent it from falling back into Paul.A.D.'s hands. Looks like dealing with the machine in the east still. And like Kednev has not been recruited yet. Jaegers and Watch Mobiles on the way there for Paul.A.D. Machine gun moving westwards there on its own. Katyusha's pulling back for repairs. Troops in reinforcing inside Kusanagi's base. Initiative 5 sending out. Maximum machine guns are sending out. There we got a booby trap on the point. They're very interesting. Not on the fuel point, but that small strategic point. Very interesting. Bit curious. Back here in reinforcement, shock troops sending out. Katyusha there sort of standing about as well. Obersoldaten. And there you go, caught by the victory point here in the next Schwer punted quarters over up with its third similar flak. Punching up, popping in a Molotov there, at least attempting to. Looks halfway to effectively engaging the Maxim crew. And there we go. Pushing in with the shock troopers. 24 kills. And the King Tiger's got to go again. His field gun is still waiting about there. HD5 could also be within easy calling range if necessary. He's not popping smoke yet because he wants to keep a clear line of fire for his anti-tank until as the King Tiger, obviously. Another hit there, easily done. He's fumbling up as well. Maybe try and use his focus sight to also spot. Oh, there you go, Katyusha as well here. Probably expecting the Kendricks nearby, and in fact they were. Another hit there from the HD5 this time on the King Tiger actually penetrating. Field continues to blast away. King Tiger's almost down to half health. Shots bouncing though. There he go. Bounced again. Pretty lucky there this time around. Katyusha striking at some of Paul's infantry. That's reinforcement situation in the centre, and now the Maximus routing the rest. Not a good engagement there for Paul.A.D. Reasonably good there for Kusanagi. Moving ahead with the tank destroyers, looking to push more damage onto the King Tiger. Shot bounces off the armour. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Katyusha there, 7 kills, close to veterans 1. Paul.A.D. definitely think needs more armour support out for his King Tiger and some other bits for Kusanagi. I think he's now just trying to go for the King Tiger. Basically, thinking he's got a situation where he can probably get away with it. At which point, with the eyes 2, he can put more pressure on Paul.A.D. Did I say get one for the King Tiger? Eyes 2, obviously. Something went flying there at the edge of the screen. That was being hauled forwards. Königstiger being fixed up. Sturm Pioneers moving about. Got the orbs on the edge again straight for the field gun. Got the HD5 tank storming up. Need to send about machine gun to deal with that. There you go. ND34 opening up the advancing German infantry and halting them very nicely. But there you go. Ken with an ambush in the HD5 tank destroyer. Push again here. Thwarted. Booby traps on the fuel pond there. Very good. The Germans were keen on it. In fact, you can find books on booby traps by the Germans. One of their tricks involved basically setting up a small mortar bomb, beneath the floorboards of a house and then rigging it up so when someone stepped on a certain part of the house, the mortar bomb would go off and killing everyone inside of the house. That was just one. So, fun note there. Unless you're the one that set it off, in which case, not so fun. King Tiger being hit, shot fired. Not quite hitting there. Well, that's the field gun trying to take out the Schwer punted quarters. Shock was suppressed. King Tiger there flanked. He's going for the H5. He's not going to go for the IS-2 here. Did seem like he was going to go for it, but I guess MajorKusanagi had a change of heart, which is, you know, not necessarily a bad thing. In these situations, when it involves a large German armoured tank, in those cases, having a change of heart can prove to be very crucial. There you go, big push again. Katyusha might be able to break it up with another rocket barrage. There you go. It exactly is. Paul.A.D bunching his troops up too closely makes an easy target for Katyusha. The Kedron's also bunched up. Second barrage, the wave there falling a bit short this time. The third wave lands much closer, almost taking out one of the Kedron after cruise. King Tiger routed again. Schwer Panzer quarter being repaired, but it's under heavy damage. Yak Panzer away here to help deal with the tank destroyers. HE5 almost done there. Another shot there fight. The King Tiger almost got it. Veterans 1 closing in on Veterans 2. Paul.A.D I think needs to switch up his tactics. They're very much head on. He's not trying to flank out maneuver his opponent. He could also consider, you know, a light infantry gun for smoke screens. I mean, in this regard, Paul's tactical toolbox seems to be running a bit out of tools. Or at least have been rather front loaded with hammers, and then he forgot anything else. Looks like they're being pursued by the second initiative 5. Schwer Panzer Corps is almost down. Got him into tank fire. There you go. Artillery called in over Paul.A.D to try and break up this. The guy incendiary artillery called in on the Schwer Panzer Corps to push through the Sturm Pioneers. He's going to risk it. He's going to risk it. There you go. Gets the Schwer Panzer Corps. We could end up losing stuff, including the ace field and to the heavy artillery barrage. And there you go. Shells whistling down, hammering the ground and the units inside. Wow, that ended up looking a lot less impressive. Well, doing a lot less than it looked like it did. So that is a bit of a blow there to Paul.A.D. Still a bit more action in the east. King Tiger being fixed up again. Main gun is out. 20 kills. Yak Panzer has arrived with this high velocity 75mm gun. Troops reinforcing healing. Consul versus Volkskontrolle is there. Okay, Mavericks moving out. 4 kills in the orbital done. Salvaging the looks and the Schwer Panzer quarters. Hard to say what he's planning. He might be going for some Pumas or other looks. Pushing for the eastern victory point. We got using the close in the 2 with a small lead here for Paul.A.D and the 1st Panzer Division. Explosions happening here. Boob taps around set off, and there you go. Yak Panzer flanking, there you go. Raketen's explosive. The shock troopers could get wiped here. H5 falling back. He could pop a grenade here on the retreat path of Raketen as he decides not to. All of a sudden opening up instead. And the King Tiger's moving again. Tanks swimming ahead. Katyusha moving in as well. Firing a barrage here. Probably hoping to kill some units inside the base here, since he knows there's units retreating into it. I mean, rather far away, so it's kind of risky, but could pay off. H5 moving in. There you go. Raketen all taken down. Unit looks like it got wiped out. Sturm Pioneer is almost taken out as well. This is horrific for Paul.A.D. Yak Panther with a damage-taking King Tiger blitzing forward to try and take out that bloody Russian tank destroyer. Now he's coming up to back up here. King Tiger, though, is bouncing shots while delivering them. There you go. H5 tank destroyer crew dead. Tank they're still up. And they're going to tank grenade off. This is a terrible development for Paul.A.D. Yak Panzer can't support. Infantry can't support. King Tiger's in a bad spot. He's getting hammered there by the tank destroyer. The field guns nowhere needs to be seen. He's rushing forward. So tank destroyer down for the count. King Tiger close to Veteran 2, but he's taking a ton of damage. The Kedron moving up. Orbs nearby. Yak Panzer still being fixed up. Incendiary barrage here to prevent infantry from being able to come up to support the King Tiger. King Tiger goes down the blaze of glory. And with that, I think it's GG. Kusanagi was able to actually turn this around from an absolutely miserable state where he barely had anything and beat Paul.A.D, apparently impressing him, I think. Hard to say. That was a nice turnaround there by Kusanagi. I think still Paul could have won it, but the problem was his tactical approach suddenly suffered from a very aggressive case of tunnel vision, and he kept attacking head on for, again, very narrow spot. I mean, had Sun Tzu been staying over Paul's, shoulder there, he'd been slapping him very hard and telling him not to do that. He should have been attacking from numerous angles, use smoke screens or anything like that, negate some all the incoming fire there from Kusanagi's defenses, but he kept charging in there, so I mean, Paul, again, I think was relying a bit too much on the initial successes. Yes, keep barreling through, and rather did not change his tactics and strategy sufficient here versus Kusanagi. Still, Kusanagi there had a few mistakes. He was able to, I think, very surely turn around there. Made some good moves and some really nice use of some of the stuff here. Like, again, ambush tactics in the field gun, which is not something you usually see. I mean, really nice play there by both players, but in the end, a bit better there by Kusanagi. So I hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And don't tell that floating tree either, or he'll take your soul. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. Did subscribe, like, share, comment, all that. And of course, if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. In that regard, big thanks to Steel Sledge for pledging on Patreon and supporting the Propagandacast. Big thanks to you. You're truly one of my company of heroes. This is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you tomorrow again for a nice new episode. Bye.